Good morning. It is Friday, January 22nd, 2016. This is your morning edition on I-24 News. Coming up later today, Benjamin Netanyahu talks Middle East policy at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Will Israel be able to leverage its natural gas for diplomatic purposes, creating a new alliance with Greece and Cyprus? A closer look at the controversy brewing in the country. And later on the show, the latest TV, film, and music news at this week's Culture Roundup. Stay with us. Good morning, I'm Yael Levi, and we begin in the Swiss Alps town of Davos, where the world's top politicians and business giants are gathered for the 2016 World Economic Forum to discuss pressing global issues, and some would argue just to have champagne. But the first day of the gatherings included sessions on the future of Europe, rebooting global economy and climate concerns. Also grabbing attention was Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who gave an extended on-stage interview to CNN. Netanyahu discussed a myriad of regional topics such as the war in Syria, the growing threat of the Islamic State, the latest wave of Palestinian violence, and the European Union's reactions, and Israel's need for extended military aid from the United States following the implementation of the Iranian nuclear deal. Netanyahu also held meetings yesterday with global cyber industry leaders to discuss cyber defense and with U.S. Secretary of State and Vice President Joe Biden on regional concerns. So, to discuss the topic, I am joined in studio by I-24 News diplomatic correspondent Tal Shalev. Good morning to you. With me, and thank God for that also, is Ami Kaufman, I-24 News contributor.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's going on in Davos in the following report. Break it down from there.
It was far from being an easy week for Israel's diplomacy, especially when it comes to its shaky relations with its best ally, the United States. But on Thursday, Israeli Premier Benjamin Netanyahu, currently taking part in the World Economic Forum in Davos, invested efforts in putting things back on the right track and sending messages of business as usual.
We can have our disagreements. We do. They're always publicized. They're very dramatic. But the alliance between the United States and Israel is so strong and so powerful that the only thing that's collapsed is the talk of the imminent American-Israeli collapse. It's very clear that's not going to happen, and that this partnership is rock solid.
Earlier on Thursday, Netanyahu met both U.S. Vice President Joe Biden and Secretary of State John Kerry, meetings that were defined as friendly and cordial and held in a great atmosphere in the case of Biden, or regarding the sit-down with Kerry as very good and private. But not only Washington was on the agenda, but the complex situation in the Middle Eastern neighborhood.
What will happen in Syria? Can a unitary Syrian state be put together again? I doubt it. I wish it could be. It could happen, but I'm not sure you could put Humpty Dumpty back together again. I'd say the best result you might be able to get is a benign, benign balkanization.
Yet amidst regional calamities, Jerusalem is seeking to seize opportunities and strengthen its position. Netanyahu even suggested that the European Union and its policies towards Israel, which are becoming more aggressive with every passing day, take an example from the prevailing understanding policies Arab nations in the Middle East show towards Israel, their traditional enemy. Alongside politics and diplomacy, Netanyahu also discussed technology and innovation, with a special emphasis on cybersecurity, a field in which Israel is one of the leading global nations.
Let's go straight to Davos first, where we're joined by Kol Israel, Voice of Israel radio reporter Gidon Kutz. Gidon, good morning to you. I'm glad that you found the time to speak with us this morning. To begin with, Benjamin Netanyahu in Davos, at the end of the day, mostly a political stint for him, isn't it?
Yes, it was political, as you said. Also, it was economic, but the questions were mostly political. And he finished his day, his day in Davos, in this meeting with Federica Mogherini, the foreign minister of the European Union, and as you said, also just proposed her to take the stance of the moderate Arab countries, and he accused her of double standards concerning Israel. It was not a very good meeting, let's say. But when he was speaking about the moderate Arab countries, it was following his appearance with Farid Zakaria from CNN, in which he said very interesting things. He said about the new relations of Israel with moderate Arab countries, speaking about Saudi Arabia, but others also. They accept and from Israel and help concerning terrorism, and he accused, of course, Daesh and Iran of terrorism, and they can give also and participate in promoting Palestinian-Israeli peace. So there is a kind of give and take here in the relations with moderate Arab countries that was revealed by Netanyahu. This time he spoke about it very openly,
right.
And sources in Davos said that gave some details about Israeli help in this domain to moderate Arab countries.
To the moderate Arab countries. I want to thank you, Gideon Kutz, for joining us from Davos. Tal Shalev with us in studio at 24 News diplomatic correspondent. What is Netanyahu hoping to glean other than that stage appearance in Davos and,
Well, this was a difficult diplomatic week for Israel. On Monday, there was unprecedented criticism from the U.S. ambassador to Israel on Israel's policy in the West Bank. And on the same day, the EU Foreign Ministers Council reiterated or reaffirmed their policy of labeling settlements. And Netanyahu needs now to present that Israel is not on the way to being increasingly isolated. And this forum gives him the chance. We had photo ops with Kerry, with Biden, with Cameron, and with EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini last evening. There are more to come. He has a chance to talk about the startup nation. He has to talk about the innovation, and he has a chance to talk to a crowd that basically admires Netanyahu because he was one of the more successful finance ministers in Israel at the time. So this gives Netanyahu A, the chance to do that, and B, the chance to have this question mark speculating over another diplomatic process that is happening now, and that is Turkey, because there have been speculations floating in the air in the past few days that there might be some sideline meeting between Netanyahu and the Turkish Prime Minister Davutoglu. So for Netanyahu,
which we haven't confirmed yet, which we don't know.
No, there is no planned meeting or scheduled meeting, but if we do hear in the next 2 days that maybe they bumped into each other or met each other in the hallway, this could happen, or people are still waiting for it to happen, we might say. So for Netanyahu, the Davos Forum gives an opportunity to show, to push back his critics and to show that he is definitely still on the table, that Israel is not isolated, and it gives him the international forum to emphasize things that Israel is actually very good at.
It's such a startup nation, whatnot, but as you mentioned, Emma, an extended photo op in many ways, one can say.
Yes, and that's why he likes it very much. That's also why he liked the climate conference in Paris last month.
Begs me the question, did he meet Leonardo DiCaprio?
I haven't heard yet, but I am sure to keep you posted on that.
We need to know that one. Okay, so I think that this is the time to move along.